Hi, welcome to Story Break for today. And we are getting ready for Halloween. That's right, so I thought I would pull out one of my favorite trick-or-treat story times. I love to pull this one out. It's called The Hallo-Wiener by Dave Pilkey. Now, if you've got some older kids in your life, some bigger kids in your life, you know who Dave Pilkey is. If you know Captain Underpants or the Dog Man book. So we know what kind of book we're in for here today. It is a funny story. And also a very sweet story too. Oh, and look there's our little dog here. Let's see. His name is Oscar. He's the main character. Oh, look. The leaves are changing colors. And there are some pumpkins with faces, some jack-o'-lanterns. It's that time of year. There once was a dog named Oscar, who was half a dog tall and 1.5 dogs long. That's a long dog. Oh, look at that. Who is hiding in the trees there? That looks like a couple of naughty cats. Because of his unusual shape and size, all the other dogs made fun of him. Wiener dog, they called him. And Oscar did not like it one bit. Those other dogs were not being very nice, were they? Oscar's mother was no help either. Every morning when the dogs walked off to obedience school, Oscar's mother stood in the front yard waving and calling out, "Farewell, my little Vienna sausage." And the other dogs laughed and laughed. Oh, Mom. Oh, who do you see down there? Most of the time, Oscar was upset by all this, but not today. Today was Halloween, and Oscar was thinking about other things. All day long at obedience school, Oscar daydreamed about Halloween night, trick-or-treats, and scary costumes. It's an exciting day, isn't it, at school? When Oscar got home, he dashed upstairs to start working on his scary Halloween costume. But when he got to his room, a surprise was waiting for him. "Happy Halloween, my little sausage link," said Oscar's mother. "I've made you a costume to wear for trick-or-treats." When Oscar saw the costume, he nearly fainted. It was a giant hot dog bun, complete with mustard, and guess who was supposed to fit in the middle? Oscar did not want to hurt his mother's feelings, so he decided to wear the silly costume. Poor Oscar, but he loves his mama, doesn't he? That night, all the dogs on the block gathered to show off their costumes. Everyone was looking quite scary. Then Oscar showed up, looking quite frank. When the dogs saw Oscar in his silly costume, they howled with laughter. "Look at Oscar," they cried. "He really is a wiener dog." Poor Oscar was so embarrassed. Wiener dog, laughed the other dogs as they ran off to go trick-or-treating. Oscar tried to keep up with the dogs, but his silly costume kept slowing him down. All night long, the other dogs hounded every treat they could get their paws on. So by the time Oscar got to each house, there were no treats left. Soon trick-or-treating was over, and the dogs walked home past a spooky graveyard. Suddenly, a horrible hissing sound filled the air. Hiss! The dogs stopped dead in their tracks. Then, out of the graveyard rose a ghastly monster. The dogs screamed for their lives. They dropped their treats and jumped into a nearby pond. Oh, look. The monster moved closer. Please don't eat us, cried the dogs. The monster yowled and hissed. Boo-hoo-hoo, sobbed the dogs. Can you see that monster there? Wait a minute, I see some paws there. The monster jumped up and down. Somebody save us, shrieked the dogs. Just then, somebody showed up. It was Oscar. Because Oscar was so short, he saw something that the other dogs had not seen. That's no monster, cried Oscar. And with a loud bark, Oscar waddled to the rescue. Oscar chomped and tugged with all his might. Who's under that monster costume? Rip! And there, standing in the moonlight, were a couple of ornery cats. Help! Cried the cats. We're being attacked by a giant frankfurter! And they ran off screaming through the graveyard. Well, Oscar took care of them, huh? That was no monster. The dogs in the pond had seen the whole thing, and now it was their turn to be embarrassed. We've been chased into a pond by a couple of cats, they moaned. But Oscar was a true friend. He leapt into the water and swam out to the dogs. Oscar's silly costume made a wonderful life raft, and the dogs climbed up. All aboard, Oscar called, and he dog-paddled back to shore. Look at that. When they got back to dry land, all the dogs shared their Halloween treats with Oscar. Because Oscar had been so brave, the dogs changed his nickname from Wiener Dog to Hero Sandwich. And from that night on, nobody ever made fun of Oscar again. Happy Halloween. Look at that. And no more teasing, right? You've got to be nice. Oscar was such a good friend, though, wasn't he? There you go. Happy Halloween. See you next time.